Hi guys, I'm June and my husband Gabriel is also helping me write this story. Before I even get into it, let me just tell you something. My first meeting with Gabriel's parents, Louise and Lena, was a disaster. Do you want to know what they said? Here it is. I can't believe you would date such a loser, Gabriel. This woman literally doesn't have any plus points to her. She only works a desk job in a small office. How the hell will she ever give us a good life? Mom, I love June, and she is the only one I want. I don't care about how much money she has or earns. I never cared about those things. Well, we care about them, Gabriel. We had made that very clear to you from the very beginning. If you had paid any attention to us, you would have listened. Listen to me, Gabriel. If this girl has nothing else, she can't be our daughter-in-law. We won't approve of her. You need to go find someone else. No, Mom. June is the one for me. I'm going to marry her. Hell, I had the entire proposal planned, and now you have ruined everything. I was stunned the entire time this conversation played out. Yes, I was surprised that Gabriel was planning to propose to me. We had been dating for 3 years and I was hoping he would ask me to marry him. But I didn't expect him to make a move this fast. But that wasn't the only reason why I was stunned. Louis and Lena's behavior towards our relationship was extremely alarming to me. Gabriel had warned me about them. He had said, "Look, June, I've already met your dad. He's a great man and a great father as well. I can see that you have very high expectations of my parents. Let me just tell you that they are not good people." Gabriel, how can you say that about your poor parents? They must be good people since they have worked hard to raise you. It must have been difficult for them to manage. They are truly hard-working people. You don't understand, June. Yes, they have worked hard to put me through college, which helped me get a good job. But they did everything out of greed. They have always wanted me to marry rich so that you can use my wife's money to have a comfortable life. They won't be happy when they find out that you work in an office. Naive little me had no idea how cruel and selfish parents can be. My own parents were wonderful people, and even Gabriel accepted that himself. While Gabriel was financially supporting his parents, he didn't have much contact with them. For some reason, he despised them. Still, he didn't cut them off because they always guilted him about the sacrifices they made. The day I met his parents was the day I realized how greedy Louis and Lena were. No matter how much Louis and Lena protested, Gabriel proposed to me and we got married. Louis and Lena threatened to boycott the wedding, but came anyway. I later learned that Gabriel had begged and pleaded with them to come. He didn't have much family on his side and desperately wanted his parents there. His parents only agreed to come after he told them that I wasn't a desolate orphan with no money. My father owned his own house and had some property to his name. Apparently, it satisfied them enough to make them come to the wedding. However, they never failed to make their motives clear. They told me, "Just so you know, June, we still don't approve of this marriage. Gabriel is a successful man and we expected more from him. He really disappointed us by not marrying rich. We wouldn't have come if we thought you had nothing. Thank God your father at least has something to his name. I hope you don't forget us and our gracious presence today when you finally get the house inheritance." I am getting married today, guys. My father is healthy and fine. There is absolutely no reason for you two to even mention an inheritance today. I stormed off, away from them after hearing what they had to say. My father was the only living family in my life, and hearing things like that on my wedding day made me sick. I also couldn't believe the audacity of Louis and Lena to demand that I share my money with them. I didn't inform Gabriel about what happened. I didn't want to spoil his day as well. Plus, I knew that it was hard for him to cut off his parents. Sadly for us, it all went downhill from there. Me and Gabriel were always very happy together, but his parents were always on our ass about our finances. Louis and Lena kept on pestering me and Gabriel about exactly how much my father was worth. We never gave them a favorable answer, so they kept pestering us. Honestly speaking, their behavior was embarrassing and entitled. There was no reason they deserved to know how much my dad was worth. We couldn't get rid of him because we lived in the same city and Gabriel wanted to have some relationship with his parents. For a few years, I put up with Louis and Lena's greedy ways. They did manage to drain mine and Gabriel's savings after demanding more and more money. They made up excuses about the money and even guilt-tripped us when we tried to refuse. Their comments on me and my inheritance also never stopped. I simply started to ignore them. However, I hit rock bottom when my father was diagnosed with cancer. It was an aggressive form of cancer and he didn't have long to live. Since he lived far away from us, we flew to him a couple of times to visit. Louis and Lena were never happy with that. They said, "You should not waste so much money on flying to your father. You two are doing this too frequently. It will drain you of your money." "Yes, that's right. He won't live long anyway and is in hospice. You can't do anything for him anymore. So it's better to save your money and not waste it there." Visiting my dying father is not wasting money, guys. And what we do with our money is completely up to us. You are no one to tell us. We are your in-laws and have the right to say something. It's for your own good. I think you two should rather spend money on people who will live long enough to enjoy it. I was furious at what they had said. With my dad's condition, I was already starting to lose my mind. If you have lost a parent, you would know what I was going through. In this tough time, Louis and Lena were not being supportive at all. Instead, they were covertly asking me not to visit my father and spend money on them instead. Thankfully, Gabriel stood up for me and shut down the conversation. However, from that day onwards, I was determined to teach them a lesson. Once I was in a better place, I vowed to show them their place. My father passed away around 3 months after his diagnosis. I was devastated. I really didn't want to lose him that fast. I saw his declining health and knew it was time. Still, it was hard for me to accept. Gabriel was my rock throughout the entire time. He was the one who held my hand while I flew to my father's town to arrange his funeral. Louis and Lena were only blowing up my phone, demanding to know about my inheritance and how much I planned to spend on the funeral. I was disgusted with those messages, and so was Gabriel. But again, we didn't do anything. We both agreed that they would be served their just desserts after we went back home from the funeral. As predicted, Louis and Lena showed up as soon as I and Gabriel returned home. After coming into the house after us, they started to hound us with questions. They said, "So the funeral is finally over. God, I've been dying to know what you got in the inheritance. Your father must have at least left you the house." "What are you even talking about, Lena? How does my inheritance concern you in any way? I came back from my father's funeral, and this is what you ask?" "Oh, please, June. Don't be such a spoiled sport. Ever since Gabriel married you, we've been wondering why he did it. I mean, you don't have a great job, and neither are you beautiful. What did he ever see in you?" Me and Louis guessed that it must be because of money. "Mom, what is wrong with you? How can you even insult me and my wife like that? We married each other for love. I have told you this countless times. At least have the decency not to bring it up today." "Gabriel, there is no reason to be so dramatic. We're simply asking her a question. Your wife can just answer us and solve our curiosity. We don't mind if you have married June for money. In fact, we would be happy to know that you have bagged a great prize." You are truly horrible parents to accuse your own son of being a gold digger. You two are insane. I wonder how a great man like Gabriel was born to such disgusting people. Enough with the small talk, June. Tell us what you got in your inheritance. This is the day I was waiting for. Your father must have left you something. Gabriel told me that he lived in a big house. You could just tell now and buy us a house instead. We will make great use of the money. Besides, we are your parents now." Hearing this just made my blood boil. I was seething with rage while Gabriel looked at his parents in disbelief. Even he couldn't comprehend the fact that his parents could be so greedy and selfish. My father wasn't even dead for a month and they were already planning to spend my inheritance on themselves. Hell, they even started to call themselves my new parents. At that point, I knew I had to do something. For years, I have put up with them for Gabriel's sake. Today, I wanted to show Gabriel just how bad his parents were. I said, "Actually, my dad didn't have the house in his name when he died. I'm sorry to tell you that. He did own that house for a long time, but he had to let it go for reasons." "What? So you're telling us that your father didn't even own his house anymore?" "No, like I said, he owned it a long time ago. He had to let go of the house very recently. So no, I did not get the house or any inheritance, as they say." "Oh my God, so your father was a poor man after all? I knew you were too cheap to be wealthy. Your father couldn't even keep his house till the end. That poor man died with no house under his name. Leave our son as you're good for nothing. Mom, our marriage isn't over just because she didn't get an inheritance. You can't just ask her to leave me because of a stupid reason like that." "Don't speak over us, Gabriel. We won't allow you to continue this marriage anymore. You have disappointed us by marrying into a poor family. You didn't once think about how you could keep your parents happy. I'm ashamed to have a son like you." "June, I'm sure you must have trapped my son into marrying you. People like you can use cheap tricks to lure men. Your final plan was to cut us off and enjoy my son's money alone. Well, guess what, June? I won't let that happen." Louis and Lena started to harass Gabriel to give me a divorce and leave. They told him that he should marry a rich girl so that my in-laws could live the life of luxury they always wanted. Gabriel was getting pissed and started to break down. I knew that I had to take the opportunity to help him make a decision. I said, "Gabriel, are you going to let your parents do this to us? I have put up with their gold-digging ways for a long time now. I didn't open my mouth because you felt guilty cutting them off. Are you still going to continue to keep them in our life?" "I don't think we can come back from this, June. I've had enough as well. Mom, Dad, today you have shown me just how bad you are. For years, you have used me to fulfill your dreams. I won't tolerate this anymore." "Don't be stupid, Gabriel. This girl would influence you and take you away from your family. We are doing this for your own good as well." "We didn't spend money on you so that you can go do charity for someone else. You need to divorce your wife and start afresh. There is still time for you to get a rich wife. We will help you this time. You have made too many mistakes on your own." "No, I won't leave my wife because she didn't get an inheritance. I'm done being a puppet in your hands. I will stay with June. You two won't be allowed in my life anymore." "What will you do by keeping June in your life? This is not what we ever wanted. She's totally unworthy of you. If you stay in this marriage, we don't want anything to do with you anymore. We won't help you when she robs you and leaves you destitute." Seeing Lena and Louis's horrible behavior, I finally decided to reveal the truth to them. I knew that telling them about my true net worth would make them beg and plead at my feet. I wanted to go all out on them. I wanted Gabriel not to regret his decision in any way, so I said, "There will be no need for that, guys. I don't need to rob Gabriel and take his money. I have plenty of money on my own, and I will take care of Gabriel just fine without your help." "Look who's talking. You don't have to lie to us to make yourself look better, June. We know the truth." "Yes, the truth is that you are the daughter of a poor man, and you don't work a good enough job to make lots of money. In a few months, you will go after Gabriel's money once you are destitute." "Well, actually, I am not a poor man's daughter. I have 50 million in my bank account. No, I didn't earn it from my job. Rather, I got it from my father." "That is impossible. Your father didn't have anything in his name. You said that yourself. Don't try to fool us, June." We can see through your lies. It won't work for us. We will make sure you divorce our son and leave him to us." I smiled at them and then looked at Gabriel. He was still looking very pissed, but gave me the signal to go ahead. He knew me inside out, and so he knew what was coming. I opened my bank account and showed them my bank balance. Louis and Lena took one look at it and had their eyebrows shoot up to the sky. They looked at each other and said, "No, no, no, this is impossible. You must have fabricated these bank statements." "You said you didn't get an inheritance. Hell, you even said that your father didn't own his house till the end. Where did this money come from?" What I didn't tell you was the fact that my father owned a big ranch where he lived. He sold the ranch and the house before he died. He gave me an early inheritance before signing himself into hospice. He didn't want me to use my own money for his care. He wasn't like you two. Louis and Lena couldn't believe what they saw. Even my words didn't sound true to them. So they asked Gabriel for the truth. When he confirmed what they saw, they went quiet for a minute and looked at each other again. Then, suddenly, they changed their tune completely. And they said, "Oh, this is such great news. Here I was thinking that my son made a huge mistake. You should have told us sooner about your money." "Yeah, we got riled up for nothing. Your father did well for yourself, June. I'm sure you'll make good use of that money now. Like I said, we're like your own parents. Since this issue has been solved, there's no need for you to leave." "Gabriel, you should have said something to us. We doubted your capabilities for nothing. You did marry well, son. I'm so happy today." With the expression Gabriel was making, I knew that my work was done. He would take care of the rest, so I held back my cuss words and let him do the talking. I trusted my husband to make the right choices, and he didn't disappoint me. Gabriel was fuming and started to scream at his parents. He said, "You still have the audacity to stand here and keep talking to us. Hell, how do you still expect June to pay for your comfort? You were hounding us to get divorced, and now you suddenly claim that she's family? How could you do this?" "We didn't know her net worth back then, Gabriel. She hid the truth from us. How are we supposed to know that she's actually rich?" "Yeah, June, we apologize for assuming the worst. You did surprise us. Anyway, now that you have an apology, can we move past this already?" "No, absolutely not. There is no way I'm forgiving you two for what you did today. I just got back from burying my father, and you two didn't even let me grieve in peace. I will never forget or forgive this. I think it has been enough already. Since you two think so lowly of me, there is no reason for me to keep you in my life. Today, I will protect myself and my wife from your toxic selves. Get out of my house. And don't even think about coming back. From next month onwards, you are on your own. I won't be helping you out financially anymore. You don't deserve any kind of help after today." After Gabriel said that, Louise and Lena went absolutely ballistic on us. They also kept begging us and pleading us not to cut them off. Neither Gabriel nor I paid any attention to their requests. In fact, Gabriel was so mad that he threatened to call the police if they did not leave our house soon. After they heard the threats, both Louis and Lena left our property but continued to blow up our phones with calls and texts. We blocked their number before reminding them that we will press charges if they don't stop harassing us. For the next few days, Gabriel completely dealt with his family while I grieved my father properly. I was finally in a peaceful setting where I could reflect on my childhood memories and try to remember my father for the good times. He truly was an amazing man. As soon as he understood that I didn't want to move back south, he sold his property so that I didn't have to worry about it. He didn't even want me to spend money on his medical bills. So he used some of the sale money to pay for hospice. He was truly a great parent, and I still miss him a lot. On the other hand, Gabriel was also grieving the loss of his family, but for other reasons. Yes, he was finally free from his toxic family, but some people were guilting him about abandoning them. Those people did stop hounding him when Gabriel told them the full story. Now, everyone who knows Louis and Lena is disgusted with them. The duo still tried to contact us even after we blocked their numbers and changed our locks. We are contemplating taking out restraining orders if they don't stop soon. Meanwhile, I have recently found out that I am pregnant. I'm sad that my father couldn't be a part of my child's life, but me and Gabriel are really enjoying this surprise and preparing ourselves to have a little bundle of joy in our arms soon.